Amazing wrestlers come and go all the time, but these 10 need to make their way back to the biggest company in the game for the good of themselves and the WWE. 10 wrestlers that deserve another chance in WWE. Drew McIntyre. Vince McMahon touted Drew McIntyre as a future world champion, but that never even came close to happening. He left the company and promised to reignite European wrestling, and he has delivered, with the wrestling scene in the UK being hotter than ever. He may want to see out his plans and take the UK scene to the next level, but if WWE were smart, they'd try and bring him back as the true main event star he is. Damien Sandow. Damien Sandow was a very talented performer, but like others who got over without the company's help, he was held down and eventually released. Aaron Rex then appeared in TNA, and in his short stint there has shown just how versatile he is with some creative freedom. Fans may enjoy seeing him in TNA more, where he will be allowed to flourish, but WWE would be wise to give him a second chance. MVP. Montel Vontavious Porter looked like a sure-fire star in the WWE during the Ruthless Aggression era, but poor booking led to his departure instead. He has been quiet in the wrestling business outside of a run in TNA, but remains in quite good shape. He won't be at the top of any fan's returns list, but he would be a great addition to either roster as both the performer and backstage mentor. Carlito. Carlito had a pretty entertaining run in the WWE, but due to problems backstage, he never broke through to the main event level that so many expected him to. He was seen as too lackluster and even arrogant to the wrong people, and was released after a fairly impressive run. He held both the United States and Intercontinental titles, and if he came back, could improve either brand's mid-card roster. John Morrison. Few in the WWE could ever top Morrison's athleticism, and his good looks made him a promising young star in the WWE. But as the years went by, fans and Morrison himself realized he unfortunately was going nowhere, and he left the wrestling business entirely for a few years. He has since returned as Johnny Mundo on Lucha Underground, and he has definitely proven to everyone that he's still got it. Ethan Carter III. When Derek Bateman was in NXT, not many people saw much in him, but since leaving WWE, he has built himself into a huge star. He showed up in TNA as Dixie Carter's spoiled nephew and went on a huge undefeated streak, eventually winning his first world title against Kurt Angle of all people. His stock has fallen as of late, but a return to WWE would again make him a star, and if treated right, could be a main event player for years to come. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes had been a waste of talent in the WWE for many years, but the birth of the Stardust character in 2014 was the final nail in the coffin. He then made the courageous call to ask for a release and set up his own list to reinvent himself on the independents. After a slow start, Rhodes has caught fire and is now a major star for both Ring of Honor and New Japan. It may not happen so soon after his release, but WWE would be foolish not to try and bring him back. The Hardy Boys. The Hardys revolutionized tag team wrestling in WWE and were one of the most popular teams to ever grace a wrestling ring. Since leaving WWE, the two have been running wild in TNA, with Broken Matt becoming the most talked about wrestler in the entire world. Their careers are winding down, and like all the greats do, they will have one last run with the WWE. Kenny Omega. Many casual fans wouldn't have heard much about Kenny Omega before his recent 6-star match, but he has had a great and interesting career, which all started back in the WWE. He wrestled in WWE's developmental territory, Deep South Wrestling, and then made his way to Japan to carve out a career for himself. He has worked for both DDT Wrestling and New Japan, and has been very successful, winning the G1 Climax and several lower card belts. He may want to continue in Japan, but if there is any interest for a WWE return from Omega's side, the company needs to snatch him up. Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is obviously returning to the WWE, as he was the first inductee into the 2017 Hall of Fame. His involvement shouldn't be limited, however, as Angle has plenty to give as either a backstage mentor or an on-screen performer. WWE may be worried about his neck problems, but given he is still wrestling, one last run or one more huge match would be a sight for the fans to see. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and remember to check out the rest of our awesome video content.